Hey guys, RTT back here for another video. Guys, here is your daily tech fix. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting off right away, we have some news on the Apple's foldable cell phone. So pretty much while a bunch of big tech companies including Google have launched their amazing Fold 3, Surface Duo 2, it looks like this bad boy right here on the screen will be delayed until 2024 due to a lower than expected development progress. Apple's first ever iPhone with a under display Touch ID is also delayed due to the same reason, and now it's set to be going alive in the second half of 2023, maybe 2024. This rejects the rumor that the under-display Touch ID will be available for the 2022 iPhone lineup. Very, very interesting. We don't have much information about this phone other than that is rumored to have an 8-inch quad HD flexible OLED display panel. Unfortunately, at the moment, we have no other information. And so it looks like, yeah, we're going to be a little bit more delayed on the iPhone's foldable lineup, as Apple seems to not really be trying to make it. Is that really surprising with that in mind? I mean, I will definitely say I think Apple does want to get in on this party of foldable phones, and they definitely probably are excited to make the money, but at the same time though, you got to keep in mind that right now it would be a project at best, and they would maybe flop, right? We saw the Surface Duo 1 flop, so this could flop too, and they'd probably rather go ahead and just focus on their actual current setup lineup of iPhones and the future setup of iPhones with adding the best features possible. So it does kind of make sense that this would be a flop, but at the same time though, I was kind of interested to see if they could make a foldable phone. Our next story is actually revolved around the brand new Surface Duo 2. So this actually affected me personally when I went to pre-order this phone yesterday. I went to pre-order it around 3 hours after the page went live, and we saw that the Obsidian model of every single circumstance was out of stock. Now, I went ahead and pre-ordered the Glacier models, as both were in stock, the 128 and 256GB models. And as I was pre-ordering the 128GB model, it actually went ahead and went out of stock, kicked me out, and I could not pre-order it. Now the second version of it, the 256GB model, I was able to pre-order, and I am going to be unboxing on the 21st of next month. But that was kind of interesting that everything went out of stock so quickly. I don't know if this is because of bots going ahead and buying up the stock, and Microsoft just wasn't, aware of that was happening. Second off, Microsoft just did put a NVIDIA and understocked the actual Surface Duo 2, thinking it was going to have as much sales as it actually did. Or number 3, it actually did go out of stock, and if you pre-ordered it after this time period, you might get a delay on your actual shipment of your product, because maybe this was like the first batch of, Surface Duo 2s, and then maybe once it went ahead and went back up for pre-order and it went back to normal, maybe that was the second shipment of pre-order of Surface Duo 2s. With that being said, it still does say that it will come out on October 21st, so it doesn't say there's any delays of any kind. But we have seen with Samsung and other companies where just recently with the Fold 3, there was delays to the higher version gigabyte model of the Galaxy Fold 3, and there wasn't really any communication from Samsung. They never put out an official statement. They just sent emails out to random people, and although a lot of guys watching my video, you guys were actually affected by that, so it is something to take in consideration. We might see a delay for people who pre-ordered this device after it set out of stock. We might not. We have to go ahead and monitor that, guys, and I will be providing updates on the channel whenever we get new updates on that being said. Our next news story is actually revolved around the Galaxy Fold 3, and it's people trying to break the Galaxy Fold 3. So a lot of people have been uploading different videos of them trying to go ahead and break and drop test the Galaxy Fold 3, and this actually comes in from Phone Buff, who went ahead and put the Galaxy Fold 3 to the ultimate test. We talked about in the past how they went ahead, and other companies like CNET went ahead and put a water test with the Galaxy Fold 3, and based on their test results, results, it was actually did very well. Other than some water in the speaker grill and not being able to use it for a little bit of time, you really had no issue with water testing the Galaxy Fold 3. But for drop testing, doesn't actually have the same consistency. So they drop tested this phone at different levels, starting at 5, 10, 15 feet, and to be honest, it actually really did good. Now you guys can see the outside of the screen right here is broken, and also the back is scuffed up, but surprisingly enough, the inner display did not crack, scratch, or anything at all. Looked absolutely gorgeous at the end of the drop test. Now that is really weird, because again, we do know the inner display is not a, actual Gorilla Glass Vicious. It's not a actual glass. Technically, it's a foldable glass. It's like plastic, but it actually does have a glass-like texture, and it technically is considered glass. At the same time, though, we do know there is a screen protector over top of that, and if with the littlest, tiniest, extra pressure, you can break that glass underneath the screen protector. It looks like that did not happen with his phone when he went ahead and dropped it at different drop test lengths. So I will definitely say this is interesting to say the least. With that being said, though, yes, the outside of the phone absolutely got destroyed. The outside is going to go ahead and have Gorilla Glass Vicious on the outside screen there, and obviously the back is just an aluminum backing, which did get scuffed up very much. So overall, I gotta give it an A+ for actually surviving the drop test. I mean, it didn't do too good, but it definitely did better than what we expected. And that inner display not being touched at all, that's an absolute win. Our next news story here is going to go ahead and be the Galaxy S22. Cameras are going to be a little bit different, guys. So here's a render of what the cameras are supposed to look like on the Galaxy S22, and you got that gigantic camera on the top there, and then full dual quad cameras underneath of it with a flash in the middle. Now I'm not sure how I feel about how that actually looks, but at the same time, though, I guess it's okay. Overall, though, it will go ahead and change the aspect ratio from 29 to 19.3:9, and screen body ratio has also increased, and the cameras are looking absolutely gorgeous. They will go ahead and have a 50 megapixel camera, an ultra wide, and a telephoto with 3 times optical zoom. The ultra version is expected to offer a 108 megapixel camera. Other features also includes 120 hertz display, stereo speakers, fast charging, wireless charging, and water resistance. Which, I'll be honest, it's really interesting to look at. That's the one thing I took away from this whole entire, picture of the Galaxy S22 was just the actual look of it. And to be honest, I think a lot of people are going to take away that picture. Guys, tell me down below, would you pick up this phone with this camera setup? We saw with the brand new iPhones, the iPhones have an amazing camera setup now. They have cinematic mode. They also have True Motion, a ProMotion mode. So there's a lot more advancements in camera technology when it comes to iPhones. It looks like Samsung's like, hey, you guys already know we're the king of this, so let's go ahead and show off how good we can do. And this is definitely very interesting, I will say that. And our final stories for today, guys, is actually the S21 Fan Edition. Yes, the phone that never was. Ended up going ahead and having the product page launched on a German website around a couple months ago. I did not cover the story because there really wasn't anything to talk about. Well, this is, getting closer and closer to when we could see this actually be launched in America, and I'm really interested to see it because we saw a lot of different renders of the S21 Fan Edition, and it definitely looks absolutely gorgeous, and it has a lot of features we want to see in the S21. So with that being said, I'm really hoping we see an update on this and we actually get some more information about the S21 Fan Edition. At this moment in time, obviously, we do not have much information, but at the same time, I want to go ahead and see, hopefully, something out of all this.